one sec. Drop the questions in the comments and then I'll answer. Let's see here. What's up, Stephen? How are you, man? What's up? Curious why the switch from ad climber to CLA poster. CLA poster not only is more effective, Stephen, but we can configure it more. There's just more control. And what we've noticed is like now that we're like promoting Locator IQ, it's already kind of an expense, even though it saves people money. But with the CLA poster, it's just much more affordable. I think it's like $30 a month, over $99 a month. And the other thing is it seems to be more reliable with all of the updates that Craigslist has been making. So for instance, like back in the day, if you remember from 1.0, we were teaching posting like 30 ads a day. I had an auto poster that did 50 ads a day. Can you imagine that? And then I scaled it up across virtual machines. So I had 5 auto posters, each doing like 50 ads a day. So it was like 250 ads a day. You literally didn't even need to run ads. You could just run off that alone and just have lead gen. But now Craigslist, if you've noticed the landscape, they don't really let a lot of posting in the real estate category. And in some cities, they're charging $5 a post if you're caught as like a locator posting ads. So a lot of people, they're getting just yanked out of the real estate by broker, the real estate apartments for rent. They're getting yanked out of that category that's free, and they're getting pushed into the real estate by broker, which is like $5 a post. You can still market and make it work, but there no longer can you post 30 or 50 ads a day. The new strategy now that we're redoing the video lesson and we're adding it to ALM 3.0 is we're teaching like 3 ads a day, maybe 5, maybe if you can build it that far. And that's kind of what you would auto post. And then you would just set the thing to auto renew. So like the auto renewals are more sophisticated in the CLA poster, but overall it's like less expensive when you're only posting 3 ads a day automatically. So like ad climber is $99 a month, and it's just like for 3 ads a day, it's just kind of a lot of money for that. So there's more control with CLA poster. It's less expensive. And I like how there's more auto renewal control. So that's why we're switching back over to CLA poster as well. Then people can have more money available to like sign up to the thing that matters, which is Locator IQ. Yeah, recycle and renew, that's good. Exactly, because like if you can auto post like 3 ads a day, in 30 days, you can have 90 plus ads, especially if you can kind of creep up to 5 ads a day. And that's kind of where like what we've tested that works, but you don't want to go past 5 ads a day. And then we set the auto poster to not post on Sundays. You have to have like a day gap so it seems realistic. But once you can get up to like 120 ads a day or so, or 150 ads a month, then it just becomes auto renewal, because you can auto renew like 10 or 20 in a day. And that's no problem. It's just the initial posting. It's as if when you start posting with an auto poster, your ads, the cold ones that you initially post, you go through like the TSA pre-check, like they scan. There's more flagging and ghosting activity that happens when like the ad initially goes through the airport, right? Like the check. But then once they're already in the airport, it's just more lenient, and so you can like, it's like to exit, 10 people can exit the airport after the TSA check, but only 3. So I don't know. That's just kind of my analogy. It's kind of like going in through an airport. And once the ads are like have been posted a while, they're not ghosted, they're not flagged. When you renew them, it's as if they've all signed up to TSA pre-check. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that analogy makes sense. And so you have to kind of look at it like that as well. I do have questions that we've compiled over the last week from Skool members. So kind of like the goal for this live Q&A real quick is to make sure all of the questions from the Skool members are answered since they're prioritized. And then what I'm going to do is really try to help everyone understand what I would do as a brand new locator to get your first 3 leases immediately. And that can look like, you get 3 leases at $2,000 a month. It could be $2,000, $4,000, $6,000. And so I'm going to kind of go over like what I would recommend to all new real estate agents that kind of want to pivot into this newer model and then get their first early wins right away. Like, what would I really do? What does that look like? We're going to cover that as well right after going through the 10 answers from people. So 1 second here, and let me find the list of questions that people have been asking over the last week. And we're going to get the Skool members taken care of. Okay, let's see here. Delete and return to group, confirm. And in the meantime, let me go ahead and spam you with this promotion.
Hey there, it's Pierre. If you've been enjoying the lesson so far and you're serious about taking your skills to the next level, we've built something just for you. Outside of this platform, we host an interactive learning community where students can dive deeper, get live support, and connect with others on the same journey into six-figure apartment locating. Inside, you'll find weekly group coaching calls conducted on Zoom, extra training modules you won't see in here, like our shadowing module where you can see me and other head coaches close apartment locator deals live on Zoom. And when you join, we'll even hook you up with a complimentary kickoff call. It's a 30-minute Zoom call conducted with our head coach. This will give us a chance to meet you live on Zoom and help guide your next steps with clarity. If that all sounds helpful to you, feel free to check it out and see if it's a good fit. You can find everything right over here, or you can just check below this video to get started. We hope to meet you over Zoom and see you on the inside.
Okay, cool. I've got the questions pulled up here. So let's go ahead and answer everyone's questions as well. Now, let's see. Let's pull this up. And okay, turn traffic. So someone was asking, how does your funnel turn cold traffic into like warm leads or close renters without wasting ad spend? Without wasting ad spend. So I don't know if you're talking about like the regular sales funnel that you can use even with organic ads, or like what the paid flow is. So I guess what I could do is like pull up what we're teaching, like the sales funnel we've developed, and then that way everyone has like a visual before I answer this person's questions here. So let me see if you can see this. Okay, looks like I can't zoom in on it. This is what normal apartment locators do in the business, right? So, okay, it's a little bit hard to see, but everyone's getting leads from their broker or they're running organic ads. And then it goes over to the next stage. You see that gray box right there? So this is called a manual call, right? A lot of locators just cold call, and that's kind of what you have to do your first month in, but that's all that they keep doing. And then the next step is like they manually pre-qualify everyone. So they're having to ask awkward questions like what their criminal is, their credit score. And this is just kind of uncomfortable questions that you ask people that you don't know in any business, right? When you ask them what their credit score is, if they're a felon, etc. So a lot of locators do the pre-qualifying manually. Then the next step is like they send the list to them manually. Okay, then the next step is like they follow up with them manually using paper guest cards. And then they organize everything on Trello, and that you can still make six figures this way. But what we've done as a company is we kind of upgraded to this funnel right here. And what this does is you can generate, you see to the left, the starting stage. So I need to make this bigger somehow, but you can lead gen with organic free ads, whether that's Craigslist, Marketplace, Nextdoor, the syndication sites. You know, it's kind of limitless. You can walk in, bring your brochures or business cards with QR codes to properties in person. A lot of the times that beats the rest of the organic lead gen, because if you've got a really good relationship with the apartment community, and then they have your business cards or your brochures with a QR code, when people walk in and the apartment has nothing for them to lease because it's a bad move-in date or the price is out of budget, whatever, they can refer people to you, and all they got to do is scan your brochure or your business card as long as you have a QR code, right? And so that could be a great way for organic lead gen. But over to the left, if you see the red square, that's where we would run a paid YouTube ad. And the reason we're running paid Google ads and YouTube is because, like, if you're getting into paid ads as a locator, Google has filters that Meta or Facebook or Instagram they don't have, especially when it comes to people renting and their intent on renting an apartment soon. So if you're running to answer this person's questions, he's asking like, someone in the Skool group is asking, how does your funnel turn like cold traffic into warm leads without wasting ad spend? So I think you're talking about paid ads. What we do is we start with paid YouTube ads only, because it still gives you the Google filters where you can literally select on there, show to people where their household type is renter. You can actually select that, and you can't do that with Facebook. I run Facebook ads all the time. In fact, I'm running them right now. And then there's also another filter with Google where it's like you can show to people with an intent, like they're in the market to rent an apartment soon. These filters don't really exist on Facebook. That's why we would use Google as cold ad traffic. Like the starting stage is a sponsored YouTube ad, and YouTube allows you to upload videos as ad creatives, which just is better for direct response marketing over like Google keywords and promoting a website that no one really will click. So we're using YouTube ads initially. It gives us way better filters over Facebook, and then we're pushing them sort of like into the funnel we've developed. And so like the next stage here is pushing them to a survey, and the survey is going to do the pre-qualifying for you automatically, and then it leads them into the second stage. If you can see on here, it's kind of hard to see. We lead them to book a call on our Zoom because Zoom appointments are more effective. And then the next stage here in the middle is like warm-up video, where we show them a warm-up video and explain to them how we can help them. And that's how like we can automate most of the lead gen from an ad. They hit the survey, that's automatic. You know, they hit the calendar, they book a call, they hit a warm-up video, warming them up on how we can help them even more. So by the time you even perform a Zoom call, these leads are just really, really warm because they saw your ad, they saw your warm-up video, they booked a call, and it's just a lot better to work as an agent with leads that are already warm coming into your funnel. So that's kind of like how we do that. And that's how we take someone cold from a YouTube ad and then run them through the auto survey and then present them like a 1-minute warm-up video. So by the time we talk to them, they know exactly what the deal is. Okay, that's kind of how you do that. And the way you don't waste ad spend is you just keep testing your ad creatives on YouTube, right? You give it like 3 days, and if your initial ad, you run 2 ads to test against each other. This is what we call in the ALM Masterclass, the king of the hill method of running paid ads. So like run 2 ads, make sure that you're funding them at least $20 to $30 a day, so they have like enough budget to reach 1,000 impressions over like 3 or 4 days. Then once both of those ads have 1,000 impressions, you look at like your cost per lead and then your cost per booked call. And whichever is way worse, you pause the second ad and then you keep funding budget into the ad that's more profitable. And then you just kind of rinse and repeat, and you keep adding another challenger, like a second ad in there to compete with your new winner or the king of the hill. And you just kind of use the king of the hill method. And the reason we developed that is because apartment locators usually don't need a lot of budget. Like $50 a day is kind of like the maximum to lead gen for like you and a couple other assistants. So you're like, locators don't really need to spend more than $1,500 a month on ads in order to really do paid ads well. And so at a $50 a day budget, you're really only going to test like 2 ads at a time and keep pausing the loser and then introducing a new ad, wait till it builds up 1,000 impressions, pause the loser, and scale up the more profitable ad. So it's just like a never-ending battle of doing the king of the hill method that we teach in our Locator Academy. And that's how you run paid ads without wasting money. Okay. Question number 2, Meta or YouTube for acquisition at a small budget. I think we just covered that. How do you test without breaking learning? Oh, okay. I just answered that. Whoever asked that. It's by doing $50 a day daily budget maximum, using 1 campaign, 1 ad set, YouTube ads, not Facebook. That would be a mistake. That's what you do for cold. And then the way you test that is by using the king of the hill method. You like run 2 ads, pause the loser, run another ad, wait till it has 1,000 impressions, pause the loser, run another ad, wait till it has 1,000 impressions. If it beats the current winning ad, that's the new king of the hill. You pause the other ad and you just rinse and repeat until you have a very profitable campaign. It's actually way easier to do paid advertisements as an apartment locator over other businesses because the service is free. So of course, paid ads are going to be easier when you're promoting a free service, right? And the second reason paid ads are easier as an apartment locator is because you don't need to test a lot of different like budgets. And I mean, you're trying to do 300K as an apartment locator, you're not going to spend more than $50 daily budget. So that's why running ads as a locator is a lot easier. All right, let's continue. This person is asking, how do you not break the learning? The way you don't, okay, let me answer that real quick. You're talking about paid ads. I like how a lot of our Skool members have like more intelligent questions because they ran through at least our crash course. So I appreciate these more intelligent questions for sure. The way you don't break, what does break learning even mean, right? Some of you guys are like, what is this guy even talking about? So this student is asking a question about running paid advertisements. And when you turn on campaigns, usually the first month, your ad is in like learning stage where Facebook or Google, it's still kind of like presenting your ad to your custom audience or the audience that you've selected. And it doesn't really know how to present them or what times yet that's most profitable. So this person is asking like, how do you not break learning? So what he's talking about is once you start funding a $50 a day campaign for lead gen, okay, you have 2 ads, you're using the king of the hill method, right? And hopefully it's splitting the budget, $25 a day for ad 1, $25 a day for ad 2, okay? If you like, sometimes Facebook does this a lot. Like sometimes you're running one ad set with 2 ads in it, and you want the budget to be split across those 2 ads so they each can reach 1,000 impressions like as fast as possible, then you can judge them faster. Sometimes Facebook is really annoying and like 90% of the budget goes over to the first ad. So like it's getting a lot of impressions, and then your second like challenger ad using the king of the hill method, it's not like receiving enough budget to reach 1,000 impressions. So you can actually judge it based off data. And so when that happens, what you have to do, Facebook's really annoying with that, but what you have to do is like pause the ad that's like getting greedy with your budget. And so that way you force your ad set budget to hit the challenger ad so it can grow to 1,000 impressions. The way you break learning by accident is you leave the paused ad, you leave it paused for over 24 hours. That's the answer to this person's question. So like the trick is run 2 ads at $50 a day. Let them increase the impressions to 1,000 before you judge them. If one ad is getting greedy on your budget, pause it and then let the other ad rise to over 1,000 impressions. If you accidentally leave your second ad paused for more than 24 hours, you have to restart learning, which is incredibly frustrating when you run paid ads, because whenever you reset learning for an ad, it's as if the algorithm has to like learn all over again, find out where to present your ad. So the problem is that like if you have an ad that's like generating leads at a pretty profitable cost per lead, and you accidentally pause it for over 24 hours and it restarts learning, whatever your cost per lead was now has to go through learning all over again. So you run the risk of like it being not profitable anymore because you messed up the optimization and the learning stage. So this person's like, how do I not mess up learning? As long as you just like pause it for 12 hours or less, then when you resume it, Facebook or Google, it doesn't like put your ad back into the learning stage again. And so you can confidently funnel budget into the second ad, pause the first one, just unpause it in 12 hours, and you don't have to re-enter the learning stage. It's kind of like an advanced question. Let me go on to like an easier question for people. Most of you guys are like, what the hell is even happening? Okay. Let's see here. Comments. What's up, GPS Denver? Do you have to pay for the course on Skool and the Locator IQ? Yeah, of course, brother. The Skool is our low ticket offer. It's just $67 a month, and you can join. It's literally what we sell to like break even on our ads. It's our low ticket offer. We do offer the crash course in there that we used to sell for $1,500. So that's in there for free in Skool. Of course, you can attend these live Q&As. So I'll always support everyone. And then you get like other mini courses in a community in there as well. You also get a 30-minute kickoff call. So Skool is an incredible $67 a month offer that we have. And the purpose of that is just to get people through the door, help them close their first 3 leases. And then usually they just reinvest back up to like our real program, which is the ALM 2.0, the full Masterclass. And that's where we can help you make 6 figures and turn this whole thing into a business, not just a side hustle. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Let me go back to the questions. What KPIs do you look at? What KPIs do you look at weekly to know like that your system is healthy? What KPIs? Well, let's see. Definitely you want to look at like your cost per booked call. But that's like only if you're running ads or you're running social media marketing directly into your funnel, right? The reality is a lot of locators, like the first couple of months, they don't really do any of that. And then they don't even have a system to track KPIs well. So like you have to have a CRM. Locator IQ will track all your KPIs for you. KPIs are key performance index, whoever doesn't know. And it's all about like knowing your numbers in business. So like if you're running ads, you have to know your KPIs. If you're taking phone calls or people are calling you, you have to know like what your call to close rate is. And these are all just the important numbers that kind of drive your business. And so like if you're running ads on Facebook, how many of them are actually booking a call and completing your survey? How many people started the survey? How many people completed the survey? These are important KPIs that you need to track. So you need a tool to track that stuff. And yes, Locator IQ has KPI tracking built in. But the thing is, I'm not hesitant to answer that because a lot of locators that are brand new, they don't know what we're talking about. And so for them, KPIs don't really matter. You just want to like post ads, close your first 3 leads, and make thousands of dollars before you get into like, what KPIs are and stuff. Hopefully that made sense. All right, let me answer question number 4 from our Skool students. Let's see. How do you keep SMS and email compliant while still converting? Yeah, that's pretty easy. You're probably running into email blocks and stuff. So like, as long as you, this is how you, let me answer how to solve email and then how to solve SMS. So for SMS, you have to do your A2P first of all, in order for you to text using a CRM. A2P is really annoying. It's the application to person / 10-digit long code. The government kind of stepped in and like before you sign up for a CRM and start blast texting people, you have to go through the A2P. And so it's a lot easier if you have like an LLC or a company established with an EIN. They seem to give you the A2P approval way easier. And as long as you have that A2P approval, what I do is like whenever I create text message campaigns, all of this stuff is pre-built in Locator IQ, wherever it is. But what I do is I just make sure that the first text in any automation or text campaign has like the opt-out language. Hey, reply out to unsubscribe, right? That's kind of what we teach. As long as your first message has that, you're usually good. No one like reports you and breaks your texting. That and just getting A2P altogether. So that's the answer for the SMS compliant. The other question is like how to make your email compliant. It's kind of 2 parts. You want to be sending not from an at Gmail personal email when it comes to your CRM. You want to have like a custom domain. So like for me, my domain is like at locator.rent. In fact, that's the domain we give all of our sponsored agents access to, because in the past we've had apartment communities not want to pay us our commission because one apartment, I think they owed me like a $3,000 commission, and they were like, we didn't know that you were a locator. It was a very silly excuse. But one day I was like, I'm going to solve that once and for all. So I created a domain for all the NAL agents and my team, and it's like at locator.rent. And the idea there is like when we send email communications or we're trying to get paid our commissions, now no one can be like, I didn't know you were a locator, when literally my email is pierre@locator.rent. Like, how do you not know someone's a locator? It's literally locator.rent. So you want to have a custom domain and send emails from that custom domain. To make that process even more secure, you want to create a subdomain inside of your main root domain. So without getting like too nerdy, I create a subdomain that's like mail.locator.rent. That would be a subdomain. And the reason we like create a subdomain and use that as the CRM emailing domain is because subdomains have their own credibility online. So like you don't reuse your broker provided root domain. Say you're with like ABC Realty, okay? How do I explain this easier? Say your brokerage firm gives you like your name at abcrealty.com. You don't want to keep using that. You ought to like create your own subdomain that says like mail.abcrealty.com, because chances are your broker is like sharing that email with all these other agents. And the problem is that like if they have bad email reputation, it will reflect on you as well. And then the risk there is that your emails don't get opened as often and they don't get delivered into the inbox. They'll go to spam. And so the way you kind of solve that is by creating a subdomain that lives in your main root domain. We set everyone up with this techie, nerdy nonsense in Locator IQ, wherever it is. So like we walk everyone, whoever signs up to Locator IQ, our all-in-one CRM, we're like, hey, let's create your subdomain. Let's do it properly. So that way no one like has to deal with bad email sending reputation and your email is going to spam and you don't know why your clients and people aren't receiving it in the inbox. Is because you're probably not set up with a subdomain and a custom domain, and then you warm it up. That's kind of the process for that. I'm really appreciating these high advanced level questions here from our Skool people. Okay, why apartment locating instead of traditional residential sales? I mean, people make decisions on renting an apartment way faster than someone buying a house. So you can almost like just ask yourself, like, if it's time for you to buy a house, aren't you going to take it more seriously and look around everywhere and make sure you have the best decision or opportunity in front of you before you just sign on a $500,000 mortgage, right? So with that process, I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff. You got to go get a mortgage. You got to go give them 2 years of your tax returns. You got to get the approval letter. Then you got to go get a realtor. Then you got to show and tour all these houses. It's way more involved for the realtor helping you throughout that process, right? And then you got to get a whole lot of down payment available, usually like $20K minimum before you buy a house. And that's like usually 3% down or so. Right? So the process is more involved for sure. And then you deal with stuff called like contingencies in real estate. If you're not buying a brand new home, sometimes you give an offer. And so the realtor is like constructing your offer in writing, sending it over through email at the right time, right? And then sometimes there's counter offers and there's contingencies like, we'll buy this house on this date as long as our current property sells. And you have to like manage all that nonsense as a realtor. That's just a lot of work, you know? So yes, the payouts and the commissions on houses are like 10, 20, 30K. That's cool. And it's true that a locator might earn 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So it's like 10 times less commission, but apartment locating is just way easier. That's why I keep talking about this all over social media, right? That's why I created a company, because it's way easier. As an apartment locator, we literally take Zoom calls. People are like, I need to rent an apartment. And I'm like, cool, where do you need to be? Cedar Park. Okay, these are two really great options, basically. They're doing 2 months free. You want to go tour them? And they're like, yes. And I go, great, go drive by yourself. And then if you like it, write my name down. And so that's all that happens. And I can close people on one weekend. They don't really take forever to decide, because it's just an apartment to rent. They're going to rent there for like a year because of their work or whatever. And chances are they're going to move out in a year anyways. So a lot of the times, if you can just present people a couple good options with great move-in specials, they go tour on a Saturday and they go apply on a Saturday, and you're going to make $3,000, right? So I would rather do that, take a bunch of calls over Zoom from home, or I can go travel. I'm half Argentinian, so I like to go visit my family in Argentina. And when I'm in Argentina and Buenos Aires, I'm chilling, I'm hanging out. I can still take Zoom calls. And when I start working at noon, it's 9 a.m. in the States, right? And so, ooh, someone's texting me. And so that's what I like about being a locator. It's just easier than being a realtor, okay? And then I can just close people faster. There's no contingency stages, offers back and forth that I have to manage, legal contracts that people expect you to like baby step walk them through what everything means on a contract when you have a buyer that you're representing. I don't have to do any of that because it's just too hard. I don't even care about the $10,000 commission. Give me $3,000, but let me just do it in one day. You know, that's kind of like why I choose to be a locator over a realtor. And if you like easier work with more pay, I mean, then that's what we're talking about. Okay, question number 6. What is inside Locator IQ that replaces stuff that we would normally need? So like a sales funnel, a survey, an email campaign system, like a regular CRM. Locator IQ does have like two-way texting. So how do I explain that? Like, we used to teach Active Campaign for the CRM of choice. I still really like Active Campaign as well, but one of like the biggest problems with that CRM, even though I love Active Campaign, I mean, they've paid me thousands of dollars like referring our students to Active Campaign. So I respect them. They didn't even have two-way text. Can you believe that? It was like they're worth over $1 billion as a private company, and they don't even have two-way text. So you would like create SMS and texting campaigns, and then when your people would reply back, there's nowhere for you to see their reply, and you can't like reply back. So this is really, really annoying. And so like then certain real estate related CRMs like Lion Desk offered the two-way text. So that was cool. So like a lot of agents kind of like go over to like Lion Desk or KV Core, or all these real estate, maybe Follow Up Boss. Actually, no, Follow Up Boss, I don't think has that. And so that's kind of why agents use those CRMs. But then when you look at like everything else, there's a lot of cons as well. Like I did not like the Lion Desk UI. To me, it was not preferred. And so what we do is we kind of like look at all the companies we studied and taught in the past, and we just kind of like combine it into Locator IQ, where we license the source code from GHL, and then we just make it more locator related, and then add like additional lines of code and stuff to make things work internally. But so that's kind of what Locator IQ is. It's like we license the source code from GHL, and then we make it locator focused and make upgrades from there. Right. And a lot of the things we do is like we have two-way text, we have a sales funnel pre-bill, we have a survey pre-bill that automatically pre-qualifies everyone. We can connect to Zoom, so you can do Zoom calls right inside of IQ. You don't have to pay for that separate calendar tool, right? And so that's kind of the purpose of that. We didn't start necessarily Locator IQ to like make money. It was more like, okay, we're an academy. We're the National Association of Locators. We help agents join our Locator Academy, and we have low ticket offers at Skool. And the lessons that we taught in the academy were like ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Typeform, Salesforce, Ring Central, and it just became really overwhelming to like teach people to log into like 6 tools. And so the reason we kind of released Locator IQ was to just do the same functionality, but with one login. So the real motivation behind creating Locator IQ is to like lower the cost for everyone and consolidate everything in one tool. So now as coaches or as an academy, we only have to teach like one tool, not 6 anymore. So it was to make our lives easier as coaches and to save our students money. But yes, that's why Locator IQ exists. Okay, number 7, where does your apartment data come from if Spark is separate now? Okay, I think you're referring to how, so Spark is like the leading database that competes with Smart Locating, which is the original. What's cool is like Spark and Smart are like now the best, basically. And so our original Locator Academy student and his team designed Spark. So it's kind of cool to say that like someone we taught is the CEO of Spark, and those are like the biggest databases that actually work the best. And so I think someone's asking, like, before when someone would sign up to IQ, we gave a huge discount to Spark, and that's because our student created it. And that's why we did that. But now it's only reserved for like the Locator IQ Premium. So if you sign up to IQ Basic, we no longer give that big discount. But for Locator IQ Premium, you can get like 56% off of the Spark database that covers all of Texas, because our student, one of our students just has a good relationship with us and he created it. So that's the difference there. It's no longer offered on basic IQ, it's offered on premium IQ. Okay, number 8, how fast can a new locator see their first commission, and how do you smooth cash flow? Yeah, I mean, it just really depends. It took me 6 days to help 3 people on one Saturday find an apartment. So back in the day, because I started locating when I was 19, I'm 30 now. So back then, a decade ago, on one Saturday I closed 3 people, but the commissions were not as large, so I made like $4,000 on a Saturday. Now the rent has increased everywhere in every state, so if you close 3 people now, it's more like $6,000, not 4 anymore. So it really just depends on if you have the right like guidance. You have to pick the right brokerage firm that can sponsor you and help you with locator collections. That's massive, to choose the right brokerage firm for sure. And then the next thing you want to do is just understand that your first month, you might have to post on these free organic sites, extract numbers for people, and like cold call them, kind of, even though it's a free service. You kind of have to cold call them and then push them to a couple apartments that you want to identify as great deals in one area. I'm going to walk you guys through what I would do as a new locator here in a second. Let's see how much time we have left. Like 10 minutes left. Okay. So number 9. Okay. First, what does a winning week flow look like? What does a winning weekly workflow look like for a solo locator? I would say that if you can generate 100 leads a month, you're basically golden as a locator. You can kind of make it work at 50 leads a month if you're just good at closing people. But if you can generate 100 people that show interest that they want to rent an apartment because of one of your organic ads or something, or maybe you're into paid ads, I don't know. If you can generate 100 leads, you can easily make 6 figures. Because if you think about it, if you get 100 leads from an organic platform, like, I don't know, Marketplace or something, a lot of people use Marketplace, you're not going to close like 40%. You're going to close at like 10% or 20%, because these are colder leads. I say cold leads, but they're all kind of warm when it comes to locating, because it's not like you're a realtor where you're cold calling like expired listings, or FSBOs. like for sale by owner, and you're literally cold calling and like convincing them to like sell their property again and use you. That's more of like a real cold call. When I say cold call and locating, it's not that cold because someone's responding on an ad on Marketplace and they're like they want to rent an apartment now. So it's not that cold, but it's still colder than like them coming through a YouTube ad and then hitting your survey, learning about you, and then landing on your calendar, like your Zoom calendar, you know. That's obviously more warm. So when I say cold call, it's not a real cold call. But when you get 100 leads from like Marketplace, you might close 10 or 20% of them. So if you have 100 leads, 100 people showing interest, you extract the number. Yeah, this deal's available. It's great. What's your number? Let's go over it, right? You extract the phone number or give them yours. I do both. So when I run like Marketplace ads, what I do is I upload a video tour as a video. That helps. Most locators don't do that. And I ask them like, hey, yeah, this deal's available. It's great. Here's my number in case you want to call or text me. But what's yours? I'll give you a quick call right now while I have a minute. And I try to extract the number that way. If that's what I do, then I'm going to cold call them on Marketplace. And I'm going to say, hey, what's up? I see you're interested in this apartment. I got all the details. You want to go check it out now? Right? And so if you do that 100 times a month, you'll probably close 10 or 20 people. And when the commissions now kind of average at like 1,500 to 2,000, so, you know, let's say the average commission's 1,500. I mean, you can easily make 3K or 4, especially if the apartments downtown, because those are higher rents, high commission, you know. But let's say like, let's just like be conservative. The average commission's $1,500. Okay, maybe it's a 1-bedroom. If you close 10 of those people, that's 15 grand. If you close 20 of those people, that's 30 grand. So if you're closing at a 10 or 20% rate and you got 100 leads, you're going to make 6 figures. Okay. This becomes way more exciting when if you actually have infrastructure like an all-in-one CRM, like Locator IQ. Okay. And then you get 100 leads that book a call with you. Because if they come through your sales funnel, they've saw your ad, they see your automatic survey. Hopefully it's done well, so they complete it. And then they see a warm-up video, like a 1-minute VSL. So by the time they book, those leads are so warm that you can close up to 40% of them. You can, because it's just warmer than like some message on Marketplace. So if you got 100 of those calls that come in, that's how like then the job becomes way easier. It's way easier to close people because you have real infrastructure. So while I'm always like promoting using a sales funnel, using a survey, getting people to book a Zoom call, that's what everyone should work up towards. But the reality is like if it's your first year in, your first couple of months in, you still have to post on organic sites, extract numbers, kind of cold call them and close that way until you can build a real system with infrastructure. You need a digital marketing expert to help you with that. Hence why we have a Locator Academy. Okay. Let's see. How do you prove this model scales beyond a few lucky deals? Okay. How do you prove that you can continue to do this beyond just like a few people lucky deal? Yeah, it's true. Like in locating, sometimes even if you suck at this job, sometimes you can just get lucky and you like are on the phone with someone who needs an apartment and you're so nice and they like you that you send them to a couple apartments and they just remember to write your name down. You can just get lucky and close 2 leases like that. This person is asking like, how do you make it sustainable? The way to do that is to have like consistent ads uploaded if you're brand new at this. And that means like you got to post more than just 6 ads on Marketplace. That's not enough anymore. Like get up to 20 or 30. Have a Craigslist auto poster. We talked about that in the beginning of the video. Is like we teach the CLA poster and how to post like 3 to 5 ads a day automatically for you. That's kind of what we like reserve for the Masterclass. But you have to have an auto poster. You got to post on Nextdoor. Get connected to the neighborhood you live in. You know, like I live out here in a very nice neighborhood in North Austin. I'm connected on Nextdoor. You should be connected on Nextdoor. These are the things you do when you first start off. You don't just run paid ads right away, like how we were talking about in the beginning of this video. But you want to be consistent with that until you're generating 50 to 100 leads every single month, so you can cold call them and close them real quick. And then you want to build real infrastructure, and then you want to get into what's working a lot in social media is like sharing property tours as YouTube reels. Because think about it, this is why your Instagram isn't working. When people look up, I need to rent an apartment, where do you think they look that up? Do you think it's on Facebook and Instagram, or do you think it's on Google? It's on Google. People are Googling, I need a luxury apartment near me, or a cheap apartment near me, or like loft apartment near me. It's all on Google. And so Google owns YouTube. So sometimes when people look that stuff up, they'll just start looking at like YouTube recommended shorts, and they look at like property tours and stuff, and they get into the rabbit hole of doing that because they're on Google. And so if you want to take your reach to like a new level, a better way of lead gen, as long as you know how to generate property tours, the secret there is like we just call apartments and ask for them, and they just share them with us for free. That's the secret we teach. And once you have property tours, or maybe you have a virtual assistant that uploads for you, YouTube Shorts is where it's at, and that could be a better source of marketing over Craigslist and over Marketplace, is doing the YouTube Shorts and then hiring a VA the way we show you and have them upload for you. It's actually it's like a couple $100 a month, and you can get them to do that. So that's another avenue. But as long as you do that stuff consistently, that's how you can generate at least 50 to 100 leads, and then really turn this into a business, even if you're cold calling on your cell phone. But what you want to work up towards is creating like a real sales funnel, a real survey, have real mentors that know digital marketing so they can support you in creating the better system, which is like online surveys automated. So you no longer work with guest cards. You've got a real survey. Everyone's booking a Zoom call, and then you're working like a real efficient agent. That's what you want to work up towards. Okay. So that's how you turn this into like a real business. All right. Other than that, I think that just about wraps up this live Q&A. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we run these. I just wanted to get through the Skool student questions. What else did I say I was going to do? Okay, I did say earlier in the video that I was going to show you like what I would do as a brand new agent if I had to quickly close my first 3 leases, and I'm like unfamiliar with my city, I'm bad with directions, and I don't know what I'm doing in the business. I'm going to show you guys how to get your first 3 leads right away. And so let me do that right after I spam you guys with a testimonial ad.
Welcome to this awesome testimonial story from Andrew. He invested into our Locator Academy and made his money 3-fold back his very first month. His first 2 leases brought in really big commissions, and he loves just how simple the nature of this entire business is. Let's hear it from Andrew.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a realtor / apartment locator here in Austin, Texas, and I just wanted to leave a quick review on Pierre's apartment locating masterclass. So I invested in the course about a year ago, and within my first month, I had made my money back 3 times over. Just using tactics learned in the course, primarily the Craigslist auto poster. That's what did it for me the first month. I closed 2 deals. One was $2,300 commission. The other was a $1,700 commission. So that's $4K right there on the first month. On top of the leads I was getting from referrals, from my broker, etc. And I gotta say, the course is just jam-packed with value. Pierre shows you how to automate the entire apartment locating process, using CRMs to follow up with past clients, using sales funnels to capture new leads, you know, the whole 9, quite literally. And since buying the course, there's not been 1 month where I made less than 10 grand, typically quite a bit more than that. And so, sorry about that. I had to take a quick phone call. These leads won't stop blowing me up. Thank you, Pierre. And so in conclusion, if you are interested in or curious in getting into apartment locating, definitely invest in the course. You will make your money back 100-fold, probably more. And so go buy the course. Highly recommend it.
If our students can receive results like this, then so can you. Tap the link below this video, take the next step, and we'll see you on the other side.
Okay, let's share the screen and show you guys what to do if you're a beginner. Okay, so entire screen, share, 1 sec here, 1 sec here. Okay, boom. Now, what to do, add to stage. Okay, cool. I think I'm sharing my screen with everyone. So if you're a brand new locator, let me get rid of this one. myself back, remove. You want to like simplify everything. Don't try to help someone around the whole city. It's too overwhelming. Like just post ads on free platforms. Forget about paid ads for a minute. Forget about the sales funnel approach that we help you build. Like kind of forget about those things for a minute and just post ads on those free sites with 2 or 3 buildings that you've identified by manipulating your database, and then just remember those deals on the back of your head, okay? People call you, you get their number, you call them up, push them over to the property that's doing 2.5 months free. Someone will go and tour because they need an apartment anyways, okay? And then you remind them to write your name on their rental application. People apply the same weekend. That's all it takes, and you'll make $1,000 to $3,000 every single time you refer people. So that's kind of like what you do if you're brand new and maybe you're going through our program, you're setting stuff up, you're getting approved for A2P, you're building out your sales funnel. That's all well and good, but post ads online, cold call them, and push them to the 2 or 3 buildings that you just studied. We literally just did it together. It took me like less than 5 minutes. Now I know those 3 buildings out in Cedar Park. The Rhythm was amazing. What was the second one? The Bridge at Avery Ranch, 2.5 months free at a $1,400 2-2. Like, guys, it takes 2 minutes, like you just saw me do. So I know 3 amazing deals in Cedar Park. I'm going to go post some ads. Whoever is interested in leasing Northwest or in Cedar Park in my city, I'm going to send them to these properties. And look, Rhythm is paying 150%. That is like $3,000 for a 2-bedroom, right? And we just did the work together on this live. So that's what you do to get your first few leases. And that way you can like pay your bills, breathe, get some income coming in. Like 3 leases is like $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 or more. And then that's how you can kind of like put yourself in a position to where you can like continue someone's program, build out the Zoom calendar and the sales funnel. But you know that if you're desperate for a couple leases, you can pay the bills, manipulate your database, pick 2 apartments, promote them, and just push people over to those 2 buildings. Someone will write your name down and you'll get paid. I hope you guys appreciated this live Q&A. Other than that, I don't think there's any other questions here. Oh, whoops. Let's see. If you can't hear me on YouTube, it's probably because we're streaming from StreamYard. So try the Facebook group or something. Let's see. One sec here. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. One sec. One sec here. What is this?
Hey there, it's Pierre. If you've been enjoying the lesson so far and you're serious about taking your skills to the next level, we've built something just for you. Outside of this platform, we host an interactive learning community where students can dive deeper, get live support, and connect with others on the same journey into 6-figure apartment locating. Inside, you'll find weekly group coaching calls conducted on Zoom, extra training modules you won't see in here, like our shadowing module, where you can see me and other head coaches close apartment locator deals live on Zoom. And when you join, we'll even hook you up with a complimentary kickoff call. It's a 30-minute Zoom call conducted with our head coach. This will give us a chance to meet you live on Zoom and help guide your next steps with clarity. If that all sounds helpful to you, feel free to check it out and see if it's a good fit. You can find everything right over here, or you can just check below this video to get started. We hope to meet you over Zoom and see you on the inside.
Is that the butter chicken over there? Oh, nice. All righty. Well, that just about wraps this up. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys can't hear the audio, just try the Facebook group that's free or the Skool group or something, and that's how you can hear me, because we're doing this on StreamYard. So hopefully that added value to everyone as well. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Wait, why can't I end this? Oh.